I realized something about myself this week, and honestly, it bothered me. I realized I've spent parts of my life living in a world that didn't even exist. Not because I was disconnected from reality, but because my mind had already decided what reality was before reality ever had a chance to speak. The strange part is, I don't think I'm the only one. I think we all do this. And once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. A few days ago, I was sitting in an airport waiting for my flight, and I started feeling warm. Not terribly, just warmer than usual. And almost immediately, my brain got to work. Am I getting sick? What if something's wrong? Should I be worried? Maybe you've had moments like that. Maybe not with your health, but somewhere else. The funny part, a couple of hours later, I was absolutely fine. Nothing happened. Nothing was wrong. But for a little while, my body reacted to a story instead of reality. And that's what stayed with me. Not the sweating, not the airport, just the story. Because I started wondering, how many other stories have I believed that were never actually true? The more I thought about it, the more I realized we do this all the time. A friend doesn't text you back, and before you know it, your mind has just filled in all the blanks. They're upset. I must have said something. They don't want to spend time with me. They don't want to talk to me. Your boss says, tomorrow I need to see you. Well, there goes your afternoon. You've already packed up your desk. You've cleared out your office. You've started looking for another job. Or your spouse says, we need to talk tonight. Congratulations, your imagination has now produced a full-length movie. It has music, plot twists, a dramatic ending, and filming doesn't even start until 6 o'clock. Isn't it amazing? Sometimes we suffer far more from the story than we ever do from reality. That sentence has been sitting with me all week. So why does this happen to us? I don't think it's because we're weak or broken or overly emotional. I think it has something to do with one of the greatest gifts that we've been given, our imagination. Think about everything imagination has made possible: art, music, books, architecture, scientific discoveries. Every invention you've ever used existed in someone's imagination before it existed anywhere else. It's one of the greatest gifts we have. But here's what I never really thought about. The same imagination that creates masterpieces can also create prisons. It can paint a future that doesn't exist. And if we're not careful, our bodies start reacting to that imagined future as though it's already real. Now, let me tell you something I've learned from painting. I'm an artist, and before you ever see the finished painting, many artists begin with what's called an underpainting. Most people never even notice it, but every color that comes afterwards is influenced by what's underneath. I think people have underpaintings too, not made of paint, made of beliefs, experiences, old conversations, things people said to us, things we decided about ourselves years ago. And maybe that's why two people can experience the exact same event and tell themselves completely different stories. One person hears criticism and thinks, oh, I can learn from this. And another person hears the exact same criticism and thinks, I'll never be good enough. Same event, different story. Because the event wasn't the only thing speaking. Something underneath it was speaking too. Here's the part that gives me hope. An artist isn't trapped by the underpainting. It influences the painting. But it doesn't decide how the painting has to end. That's the artist's choice. I think that's true for us too. Maybe some of the stories you've been believing aren't actually yours anymore. Maybe they belong to a scared 12-year-old. Maybe they belong to a difficult season of your life. Maybe they even protected you for a while, but that doesn't mean they're still true. I've actually started catching myself when I do this. And instead of asking, is this true? I've started asking, who wrote this story? Was it reality? Or was it an old belief quietly narrating the present? Because I've started to realize something. Not every thought deserves to be believed. Not every story deserves to become your reality. If this conversation connected with you, I'd love for you to subscribe. This channel is going to be a place where we explore ideas like this together. Not just how to improve our lives, but how to understand them. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.